record myself telling you that, which is usually I turn the sound and commentary off when I watch these. Because if you do want accurate review, it's hard sometimes, even with just the sound of the armor and the fighting, to assess, like, okay, this guy just hit, they both could be like good hits, but one skips slightly off. You know what I mean?
But you hear it.
You hear it. Oh. Like, yeah, it's like still sounds good.
I got to go first for this one.
What was your walkout song, Jeff?
It was a Knights of Wakanda one. Cutthroat. It's actually a dope song. Since we couldn't use any other songs right now, we had to have it licensed.
Oh, for this one, you weren't allowed to?
Nope, because when they first switched over to the newer, bigger thing.
Like, I just got lucky enough to be able to use the Pokemon theme song.
Bro, that was so good. Like, I wish I used playing more of like a My Hero Academia, like You Stay Run, or something for my first song. I should have.
That would be sick.
No, it was so good when you did that. I love our walkouts. Like, it's something different from a list fights. Is you're in a cage and that door closes and you're like, well, here we go.
Yes, I do love that feeling. Like when you go into it and like it's locked in there, just you and the ref and your opponent.
Yeah.
I like the feeling of the cage for sure. I someday really want to try fighting in the karate combat pit.
I think the pit would honestly be better for the spectators.
I agree. I think it would. Now, I think we run into this, like, all the issues we talk about with, like, grounded fighters, like, when they get stalled out and stuff. Like, you still have that with the pit, because people fall in the pit and get grounded out, but... So, what were you thinking here?
I was thinking, like, I've been waiting for this fight for a while, because I actually ended up not really dodging Jimmy, but there's a Dragon Con 2 or 3 years ago, and I was not ready to fight him at all. And like, hey, you guys want to fight and everything? I was like, nah, not really right now. It's been a long day. It'd be the last thing to end. It'd just be slop.
Yeah.
So I was really like, maybe sometime in the future. And then we got it now. And I was really, really looking forward to it.
I didn't know that you were that much older than him.
Yeah, I'm old, man.
You're not old. Look at you. Come on, get out of here,
I'm 38.
Dang, 38.
I'm on the way out. I gotta get to that Super Saiyan level now.
Here's our tail of the tape, right? Yeah. Fighting out of Belleville, Illinois. Fraser, Michigan. 6'4" to 6'3", 265 to 255.
Yep.
Similar years of experience, which 5 years for you is in Buhurt. That doesn't count your fighting experience.
I've been fighting since 2008.
Yeah, but some people could consider that a deficit because you have all these habits built in from.
Oh yeah.
So it's like it's not necessarily like that translates directly to pro fights. No. Especially pro fights where you have all these other elements.
Pro fight is definitely one of my weaker since I'm way more of a duelist.
And just looking at your kits right off the bat, I always like to assess it when I first start, these fights. Like right off the bat, it's like you got the heavier gear, you have chainmail instead of just the cloth. Yeah, there you go. Hell yes, dude. Get that power up. He's got super loose titanium floating gear.
And that's what I want to switch to.
Yeah.
Especially going into my next ones. I want to optimize the kid in those because some of those upper movements, it's really binding. It's hard. You get tired from just going here.
Even my arms, like, you could probably, like, saw once or twice, like, they'll catch on each other. And it's like, just because my shoulders are so big. And none of the shoulders or arms that I have were made for me. So they don't fit me perfectly. But, it definitely matters.
That makes a big difference. And like we talked about, my kit was made for everything. I fought for this in Spain. I've been 16s, 5s.
Yeah.
I want to make it better.
Yeah, so you're going in there with a much more all-purpose kit.
Yeah, because it's definitely optimal.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see.
Range, he just started going. I was like, oh, okay. So I was working range. It was just getting closer.
Yeah, he went shots. He's almost like not. Remember what I talked about where he's not, like, aiming. He's just spamming. Like, that's what that level of aggression usually ends up getting you, is, like, you get into the bind. That was good. Good right hand over the top and another one.
And that's my turn around. And then I put myself back in the corner, which I realized that wasn't great.
Yeah, right there. You saw, okay, so when you had that underhook on him, instead of just shoving him away, at that point you could have done that. Remember that tilt we were talking today? And you get his back to the cage and you have the underhook. That's where you can then underhook and just lay into his legs with the sword and punch with the hand.
I think those uppercuts, you're doing that in practice today. Those were they were strong. They were real strong.
Yeah.
Really nice.
And usually being chill with it. And see right there's another one where it's like you got the underhook, but you took your shield from the underhook and pulled back to try and guard or punch. Like, tilt him over with it, or try tilting him over with it instead, and there's another chance where you could have gone for it. That might be a big difference. That might be a money move for you to start looking for, is that underhook and that deep underhook on.
I think definitely, because it seems like it was there multiple times.
And he really is coming in with like that flailing, like reaching punch shield, like kind of lunging it out there and then following it. His sword, he's like reaching with his hand, you know.
Well, that time I was a little tired.
Yeah, I could tell you're tired. I'm like, get your shield up, Spencer.
Yeah, why is that there? Why is low? And then low shots, bad blocking, and then they put me in there.
That's where like you got your sword stuck. Punching out is good. Obviously punching it and blocking before he gets you bound up is better. Where it's like, you got pushed to here and then you punched out. It's like just punch him as he's trying to suppress you. Like right at the end. So I can't really do quick replay with this. But like there at the end so he's here and his like shield is about to come forward. You're here. It's like you go for a snap while he goes for a straight punch. It's like the punch is always going to land first. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like when you end up in like this point, this should just suppress the shield. Yeah, just come, that can attack, or this can attack after,
after you press there.
Yeah, then you can sword shot,
But this was out there already. It's responding to that.
Yeah, you shouldn't try to trade the shield punch to the snap usually.
No, I guess it's a lose-lose.
Yeah, at least if you're that close. If you're far enough away, like, and he's got to lunge in, if you snap as he steps in, you can like hit him without getting hit. But yeah, I think that. Oh, they do the long breaks as well.
Yeah.
What was up with your elbow busted? Huh?
Oh, that was the thing we're talking about. The one right now, my arm's still rehabbing it to where it was firing off throwing. I wanted to switch to my left arm that was free.
That's right.
That can work with those still jabs. So I wanted to switch over. I think we were thinking about it, and then all of a sudden I was just like, hey, let's do that. I think I do it last minute.
And this is so based on the score keepers and the people counting blows. Sometimes it's difficult to say. I would say that first round was very close.
I think so.
If we went back and watched it slow-mo at the end, like I like to do, we might try and record it. We might have to grab the laptop, but I would say that any judge could give it any way, personally. He was coming forward more, but most of those shots weren't landing clean. And you did reverse him several times and had a couple really good punches. He had one or two. You also had one or two. It's kind of like the angle that they saw it. It's based on how they're going to pick it. So, like, if I was a fighter and going into, or your coach in the corner, I would be like, try to pick it up offense-wise. You did great. Good movement, good defense. Try and take a few more swings at him in the moments, usually as you come in or as you leave in exchange. That's where things get won in the eyes of the judges.
Yeah, I know. I still always have them. I like to counter punch.
Yeah.
It's very rare that I'm charging after them. I prefer to let them then switch off.
That's totally fine. It's then in those moments where like they want to reset. Yeah. Especially guys like Jimmy or big punchers when they are trying to retract and reset their stance and get back into guard in a nice like even tempo. That's when good shield punch there. He wasn't ready for that switch. But see, that's where you kind of fucked yourself up by switching a little. Yeah. I could tell for a second there you're just punch. I've done that.
Yeah.
Good right there. That was great tilt. And then there was
this one I didn't step out of it. That's why I did not step out of it.
Yeah, man. When you went for that first tilt. Like here, we can pause it real quick. When you went for that first tilt, you should have prioritized getting him like pressed against the cage. Yeah, because it's like you tilted him and turned him. Now the worst thing you could do is give him like that easy throw. But if you had done like turn and then just basically. Think of like when a football lineman is like hitting the sled. It's like when you get the guys back to the cage for a second, you just turn, boom, and just press him into it. You know, because no matter what, he's got to get his back off the cage to fight. And I think that would have saved you from getting taken down.
No, definitely would have. I think, because after looking at it, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was, but also when I could feel myself, I was trying to move, and then it was enough right. I was like, oh, I can get out of it.
I mean, this is another instance too, though. Whoops, that's the wrong one. So the guy, you know, Ricky stood you up, but whatever.
You're fine.
There's a moment when you're wrestling up where you could have actually reversed the position.
Oh, I could have took him down.
You could have just grabbed. I'll show you.
Oh, you're right.
You could have gone for a really low ankle single and reversed the position, which in a lot of judges' eyes will.
That's even more.
Give
like
you
from a negative point, you still win or bring him down.
Yeah, they'll give you that scramble at that point. You see how like even Jimmy is not like he's trying to push you against the cage, but he's pushing you where he's giving you an easy exit. You just gotta try to like there. You did it. You circle off the cage. Good. Yeah, and this is. Like those sorts of exchanges right there, I would like try and throw one more sword shot.
I see.
Just try and throw that one more because it's like he comes in and lands a punch, he steps back, you land a punch, and so it's kind of even. Ooh, you almost had that. And see,
I should switch up. I should have did that whole left right.
Now you can because on the cage it's like you take him one way, you don't get it, immediately take him back the other way. And right there, you do have that underhook. So if you just push his arm up and circle out, you'll get off the cage. Now you don't. You lost it. He kind of pushed over.
He's more tired than I thought he was. Also there.
No, he's definitely tired. You can see that he's at the point where he's gonna be loading up probably for his super combos now.
Yeah, because he needs to put me in.
Yeah, and
down.
He's trying to like build up to it. And yeah, that's just a lot of weight moving. Okay, wait, maybe they'll show it in the replay here, though. Okay, so you get to... No, they don't. There's like... It was basically a point where you pushed up with your shield, and then you were able to get to your hips on your side. Literally, it was as soon as you get to your hips, you just hook around his leg, and you just put your helmet and your head like right up against his shin. And it's like...
Just drive?
Yep, exactly. Yep, you just drive and pull here. I've been working it a lot in armor.
No, that's something I can see now. I definitely will not see because McCabe does that against his fight with John.
Wrestle. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do think I remember that clip. He wrestles in, gets the legs, and just takes him down. Very few fighters in our sport know how to wrestle on the ground. You know what I mean?
And as well as because you teach me what to do. Like, because I had no wrestling experience in high school.
Yeah.
But I like it. I'm working on shooting. My knee mobility needs to get a little bit better.
It's okay because you look at how a lot of MMA fighters do it. Like they don't drop to their knees to shoot. You know, I'll show you a good way to do it too. But you just have to get a little squat. Because basically, to do a nice blast double, you want to be able to grab like behind the thighs, right? But you can also dive down for a single and essentially like you don't have to drop down all to your knees and do the full flow.
Go from here.
Yeah, you could literally go like it's just like from here you just go. And like that much of a level change is enough a lot of the times to grab
big guys.
Yes, yeah. Long legs, you know.
Yeah, true. Like I said, the flexibility, especially in the armor that I have, it can do it.
Yeah.
So it's just that it's good deep squats.
And timing it too is a lot of it's timing.
That's what I like with I'll show you the Mark Wildman, like having the clubs. There's one where you're like doing press outs and then you're squatting down, pulling it in, press outs, doing up, and then actually working on doing like gun get ups. Now it's just I knew I was down in points. I needed to do something fun.
I mean, it landed.
Yeah.
See, like again, if I'm a counter like one or two of his sword blows, I wouldn't have counted because they were really sloppy, and like at least one was flat, you know. And like, see that those are good. They're like if someone tries to super hard suppress your weapon hand, you see where you could punch up into that uppercut, right over his like get the hook, and same there. Like instead of trying to block his hip, it would have been better to try to get your underhook and circle chest to chest.
Oh, I try to get there.
Yeah, because by blocking his hip down there, you essentially like put your arm in between the two of you, and now you have nothing to stop him from stepping outside that leg for that Asoto.
Oh, yeah.
So there, like, by suppressing too much inward, you basically gave up this path to the outside, that was where he took it on that takedown. If they show a replay, we'll go over it. Maybe again, like I said, we can pull it up on the computer.
Sure.
It'll be easier to analyze. We stop filming at some point. Go over there. And this is definitely a point where you're both tired.
Yeah.
You can tell, because from here, one thing, it sucks, but punching out of the clinch is never as effective as just trying to clear. Yeah, get those hands off your head. Don't try. See, like I'm not gonna give that a point, but he's got the position.
Yeah, that's the part where I was turned over, my arms under.
Yeah,
and I was like, I can't get out of it.
Yeah, you're like trapped there.
Yeah,
which is like good for him to recognize it and try to take advantage. But that's that's part of fighting in armor. Obviously, we both know that.
Sure. I could have positioned better, but yeah, like that one.
When shit gets caught, it's caught. And that's that classic, you're both picking the headshot.
Well, yeah, we're just trying to get there. So I was tired from pulling on twice, but not wanting to sit there and just let him go on me. So it's like I gotta do something. That's why I was trying to do the shots, but I should have.
Right, once again, like right here, if your hand's by his head, go for that quick little trip, because he's like leaning so heavily onto you that like his weight's coming forward already. You know that if you go for that little tug, he's gonna come forward. He has to come forward. He's leaning on you.
That's called what again?
The Sasai.
That's the Sasai.
Yeah. Overall, definitely a good fight. Third round, just the grappling, he took it for sure. Up to that point, I think the second round, he maybe won based on what I would say is the beginning, where you threw a lot of punches that didn't quite land. And I've literally done the same thing to myself, where I switched from right to left-handed in the middle of a pro fight, and for the first 30 seconds of that round, I was axe swinging with my shield hand and shield punching with my axe. Like, wait a second, no.
And you're like, no.
Johnny, get it together. What the fuck, And so it seemed like that was happening a little bit, which does just. There you go. Nice, good fight though. Good fight.
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
No, you performed well.
But no, I